Hi class, it's Miss Miller, and today I would like to introduce you to the art of persuasion, in particular the use of ethos. And in this unit we're actually going to be covering quite a few things. We'll be talking about some different persuasive strategies. In addition to ethos will be pathos and logos. We're also going to talk about some rhetorical techniques like repetition, rhetorical questions, restatements. But today we want to sort of emphasize and focus on what it means for someone to sort of appeal to our sense of ethos or ethics. Our objective in this lesson, in class, and both in this video is that you will be able to evaluate a persuasive ad, written discourse, any type of speeches for ethos by discussing the effectiveness of the speaker's or the writer's ability to establish credibility and creating an ad using this strategy of ethos. Now, before we can even really get started talking about ethos, I want to introduce you to this idea of the rhetorical triangle. And it's really important that you understand this concept so you can see how everything sort of works together. And for you, you should probably also know the term rhetoric. If you hear what type of rhetoric someone is using, it's really just the language that someone chooses to use to be persuasive. And sometimes they use different figurative language to sort of do that. But the rhetorical triangle consists of three main components. One is the speaker or the writer or the author. Two is the audience, which is kind of what we started to introduce. And three is the subject. So who's talking, who are you talking to, and what are you talking about? And this is important to sort of determine ahead of time so that you can decide how or which type of persuasive strategy you want to use or employ in a piece of work. So the purpose of ethos, okay, is for the speaker to demonstrate credibility and trustworthiness. So it's important for this person, if they want to appeal to your ethos, whether in writing or through an ad or through a visual, that they want you, the speaker or the author, has to communicate that they are credible, they have the authority to speak on the subject, and that the audience trusts them. So these are really important. The purpose of the ethos is to do these two ideas: demonstrate credibility and establish trustworthiness. The major premise of ethos, okay, so the speaker wants you to know that they have a conscience, they base their behavior on ethics and morals. They use certain standards. They have certain values. They are built on principles, and they're fair and they're accurate. So these are important things for a speaker or a writer to sort of portray to an audience that they have or possess. And they may even, as a speaker, question your conscience or tap into your sense of ethics or your morals and standards, and to let the audience know that the speaker is sort of in line with the audience. They're on the same page. They're working together. Now, we talk about this idea of shared values because a speaker makes the assumption that the audience has shared values. And when they do this, they're appealing to the audience's sense of values. So when they are communicating, whether it's in an ad or it's in writing or it's in a visual, they're assuming, let's say they're talking about a particular subject, they may say, we share the value of family. We both value family and it's a priority in our lives. That's appealing to your sense of ethos, ethics, values. If they talk about finances and they say how important it is to sort of budget and develop your plan, then they're appealing to your sense of value. And that is, of course, if you value that, if that's a priority to you, if that's important to you. Or education, right? It's a priority. Health, peace, and safety. So you can sort of determine this when you are looking at a piece of work and say, wow, this person, if you're an audience member, you might say to yourself, this speaker really seems to value family in the same way that I do. And so they're appealing to our sense of ethos when they do that. Now, I want to take a look at specific ads. This one is appeal to ethos, and this is just toothpaste, right? It could be a commercial, it could be just an ad that we see, but one of the things that ethos does is you have to show that you have some level of expertise and you have knowledge. And so yes, in the first ad, we see that this person, not even the person, but it's Colgate, right? Colgate wants to promote or sell their toothpaste. And so what they do is they have to appeal to your sense of ethos, among other things. There's lots of other things going on here, but ethos is sort of embedded in this. And when they do this, what they've done is they say they have this dentist, the picture of this dentist in there, to maybe even say dentists recommend that you use Colgate. So now they're appealing to your sense of ethos, and you might not even realize subconsciously you might grab for that toothpaste because the dentist recommends it, right? So we also look at this dental floss, this Oral-B, and again, this one is sort of relying on ethos to sort of promote this floss, and it's saying the #1 brand recommended by dentists. This right here is appealing to our sense of ethos. They're establishing credibility. I can trust that this Oral-B as an audience member is the right product for me because it's the #1 brand recommended by dentists. So the speaker, which is in this case Oral-B or Colgate, they think about, well, how can we promote this, not just with colors and pathos and logos and all sorts of other things. They have to sort of have some sort of ethos in there. So they're doing it with the expertise of the dentist, the knowledge and expertise. Now, here is a pretty common one, and I'm a big fan of Proactiv, but here again, we might not recognize it, but this is appeal to ethos. And so first we have dermatologists. Meet the doctors behind all the new Proactiv. So in this ad, you can see they're relying on expertise and knowledge of the dermatologist. So when you see this and you reach for the Proactiv, you know that it's dermatologist tested. They've established credibility and trust in the audience. Now, you may see another commercial on the same product as it relates to Proactiv, and this is experience. So now they're using the celebrity, which we are all a big fan of, most of us, right? And we see her sort of communicating her experience with using Proactiv, and we see that she has the acne on her face, and then when she uses it over time, it sort of disappears. So collectively, if they put these two together, it makes a very strong sale, right? People are more inclined to sort of purchase this, has more buying power. We want to use it, and because it's appeal to our sense of ethos. Some more ideas on appealing to ethos. Simple places as going to the nail shop. You're getting your nails cut, and someone has a sharp object that they're using on your feet. And of course, you want to be able to turn to the wall and see a sign that says, the people here are qualified to do what they're doing. They've been certified to do this health nail salon, right? So another appeal to ethos is that the individual or the company is qualified. Even at the barber shop, you're in the chair and they've got these sharp objects that they're using around your face and your eyes, and it's always nice to see, wow, okay, this person is qualified to do exactly what they're doing. And so they even put it up so that everybody around them knows that they have this. And so again, this is appeal to ethos. Additionally, with ethos, it goes along the lines and also pertains to reputation. So what's the reputation? We have this place, this restaurant, who earns a score of A. When I'm walking into a restaurant and I see a score of A for their health inspection, I know they value health, right? That it's safe, it's clean, it's sanitary, the food is good, right? And they have a strong reputation, a high rating. And then also another way to evaluate the reputation is the rating that people give. And we do this quite frequently now. We're all writing reviews. And so the reputation, if someone has a strong reputation, they can use that to sort of promote this idea of ethos or appeal to our sense of ethos. You might say, someone might say, look at the ratings that we've received. People like this product. Then they're appealing to our ethos because they're using the rating, the reputation, to sort of push this idea forward or product. Appeal to ethos also consists of making good impressions. When you first meet someone, you shake their hand, you look well groomed, you're going to make a good impression. You're going to think to themselves, wow, this alone, the presentation of this individual appeals to our sense of ethos. Now I wanted to show you some more ads on experience. So we have this supermodel who is promoting the skinny, or not necessarily the skinny, the Diet Pepsi. Well, who better to do that but her, whether she drinks it or not, whether this is the first time that she's using it. She's thin, we see her drinking it, and we want to be thin, so we see Diet Pepsi and she's drinking it. It's okay for us, and this is a celebrity with her own experience. And then I think this is Beckham, a soccer player. I hope that's who it is. And he's drinking Pepsi, so I'm going to drink Pepsi. Right, so the experience of this person maybe drinking it, and it's refreshing for him. So therefore, Pepsi, not necessarily Beckham, is sort of promoting this or appealing to our sense of ethos by presenting us with this ad. Also, a part of ethos is the experience of someone. So maybe they're not necessarily trained or qualified, but they have tremendous experience, or a combination of all of those, right? We know Caesar, the dog whisperer, he has a lot of experience training dogs. If someone came up and they wanted to help us train our dogs, and then Caesar came up, I think we would be more inclined to follow his protocol for what to do and how to sort of work with animals. And when we're watching it on TV and see how he does things, we trust him. It's appeal to our ethos because somewhere in that storyline they're going to take us back to where all of his dogs are, and we see his experience over time working with these animals and the success that he has. Also, another appeal to ethos is the speaker's level of sincerity. If the audience sort of senses that they're very authentic and very sincere in their approach to communicate whatever it is that they are wanting to communicate, the sincerity alone can also be an appeal to ethos. So we see Selena Gomez, we see this celebrity that sort of it has multiple endorsements. We see her drinking milk, so we want to drink milk. We see her drinking a soda, and we want to drink soda. She looks happy, she looks refreshed, she looks vibrant, she looks youthful. And so these ads sort of use her to sort of appeal to our sense of ethos. Well, this is Selena Gomez. If this is good for her, it's good for us, right? And here she is again. She's promoting shampoo, this Adidas brand. I mean, she's got multiple endorsements, so I wonder why, we're not getting to do these things. And who are we, right? Additional appeal to ethos. Here we go. The boxer with his United States flag on his back. And so we could all sort of speculate about who the audience is for this. And he's drinking milk, right? And then we got Superman over here, and both guys are strong, and they have, you could look at the color scheme, but again, we want to focus on ethos. So they're strong, they're tough. And so if these guys drink milk and they can sort of embody this strength, then what would happen if we drink milk, right? So again, this idea where milk is sort of pushing this appeal to ethos, we're trusting them, they're credible. Man, if they can do it, then we can do it too. And here are some additional milk ads, and the one that really stands out to me is Stephen Curry, right? Don't push your limits, shatter them. Wow. So I really want to drink milk, and this is a muscle milk with a different type of brand, right? But same concept. So that we're promoting milk, we're using celebrity, we're using this experience, and man, if he is this, MVP, and he's all of these things, then I want that too. And maybe if I drink just a little bit, how much success can I experience? And so that's necessarily always true, but it definitely appeals to our sense of ethos. And then we have some more appeal. We have the Jeopardy. So this obviously is a different audience. Some of us may not be familiar with these two, right? Because this might be a different audience, more adults, and more familiar with Jeopardy host. And I think this is Meredith from The View. I don't know, but she may have a strong reputation if it is. And so it's appeal to ethos. If she's drinking it, then I like her. I respect her. I respect her opinions. Then perhaps it's appeal to ethos. And so it really just depends on the audience. That's really important too in the approach, and that's the whole idea of the rhetorical triangle for the appeal to all of the different persuasive strategies, in this case ethos. Again, we take, I believe this is Taylor Swift, right? And this is a different audience. Everybody has to drink milk, right? And then here's Rihanna, body by milk. Here's what you could look like if you drink this milk. Whoa, right? I really want to look good. I better drink some milk. And then, with all the politics and the election coming around, we hear propositions. We hear all of this in the media. Prop 55, there again is appeal to ethos, and I just capture like just a frame shot of it. And this is just one elementary school teacher, but there's multiple school teachers who actually speak on that proposition, and by them using teachers to sort of solicit this this campaign or this idea, they are sort of appealing to our sense of ethos. When we're drawn in, we're thinking, wow, if this is a teacher and we have the shared value of education and our kids and their well-being and their safety and their future, then we have the shared values. They've established credibility and trust. I can tell she's concerned. So again, this would be the appeal to ethos. And then finally, we're going to put it all together, this nice presentation package of ethos. I want to bring us back to the rhetorical triangle. We have the teacher who's the speaker. In this instance, the parent is the audience, and then the topic or the subject would be grades. And so if I were the teacher in this case for this rhetorical triangle, and I was talking to a parent, the way I might appeal to their sense of ethos is, I might establish very early on, maybe I might slip over my my syllabus, which indicates the number of years of experience that I have in education, my advanced degrees. They could tell by my discussion that I have a genuine concern for their child or the student. I might even disclose, like, the conversation that we have is confidential, right? So they can trust me. Perhaps I might provide them with lots of data or facts and say, look at all of the student performance, and I share a trend or something with them. I'm very thorough, right? All of these things independently and collectively sort of appeals to our sense of ethos, right? At least the parent. And so overall, I want to make a good impression. So hopefully you found that helpful. This is what it means to sort of appeal to a person's sense of ethos, this idea of ethics and morals and values and having this shared experience.